The world in 2025 feels unsteady, as if the ground beneath our feet is shifting in ways we can't quite predict or control. Crisis and anxiety seem to touch every corner of the globe, with headlines blaring about new conflicts, disasters, and uncertainty every day. Economies that once seemed unbreakable now teeter on the edge of collapse, leaving businesses shuttered and workers unsure of their futures. Political tensions simmer and threaten to erupt, as leaders argue and streets fill with protest and unrest, making the future feel even more unpredictable. Around dinner tables, families quietly worry if their children will have the same opportunities they did, or if the world is changing too fast for them to keep up. This uncertainty is not limited to one nation. It's a global experience, a collective holding of breath as people everywhere wait and hope for better days. Yet through decades of turmoil, the United States has long stood as a beacon of hope, a place where hard work and determination could lead to a better life, no matter where you started. The American dream, embodied by the green card, has drawn millions from every continent, people seeking safety, opportunity, and a future built on merit and possibility. The green card is more than just a document. It's a bridge from struggle to possibility, transforming outsiders into residents and eventually into citizens who help shape the nation's future. But now, that beacon is dimming, its light obscured by new barriers and growing uncertainty. The path to a green card is becoming nearly impossible for many, with more obstacles, longer waits, and dreams put on hold. Increased scrutiny, complex paperwork, and new restrictions trap millions in limbo, deferring dreams indefinitely and leaving families in a state of constant anxiety. The promise that once shone so brightly is now shrouded in doubt, as hope gives way to uncertainty and fear of what the future may hold. Countless families now wonder if their chance has already passed them by, or if the American dream is slipping further out of reach with each passing day. For families in crisis, a green card is a lifeline, not an abstraction. It's not just a piece of plastic or a legal document, it's a symbol of survival, a beacon of hope in the darkest of times. For a mother in a war zone, it means safety and a future for her children. It's the difference between fear and freedom, between uncertainty and the promise of a new beginning. The green card offers her the chance to dream of a life where her children can grow up without the constant threat of violence. For a father in a collapsed economy, it's the chance to provide, to send his kids to school, and to care for aging parents. It's the hope of steady work, of dignity restored, and the ability to support loved ones both near and far. The green card is his ticket to stability and opportunity. The green card is also a promise of reunion, ending years of painful separation for families split by borders. It's the moment when loved ones can finally embrace, when grandparents meet grandchildren for the first time, and when families are made whole again after years apart. It is the physical embodiment of hope, love, and connection. It's the key that unlocks the door to a new chapter filled with possibility and belonging. But the narrowing path to a green card is devastating. Every new restriction, every added delay feels like another door closing, another dream slipping away. Delays and denials throw families into uncertainty. A child's education is paused, a parent's care postponed, a reunion canceled. The waiting becomes endless, and hope begins to fade as families are forced to put their lives on hold. The American dream is not just individual, it's a collective hope for families and communities. It's the belief that together, we can build a better future, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. When that dream becomes harder to reach, the impact ripples across the globe. Families separated by oceans and continents feel the pain, and entire communities are left waiting for the chance to reunite and thrive. Every delayed application is a future on hold. Each file in the stack represents a story, a hope, a family waiting for their turn to belong. The stakes are deeply personal, and the cost is measured in lost time and lost hope. Every moment apart is a moment that can never be regained, a memory that remains unmade. The green card crisis is a human crisis. It's a story of longing, resilience, and the unbreakable bonds of family, reminding us that behind every application is a life waiting to begin anew. In 2022, Sri Lanka plunged into its worst economic crisis in living memory, sending shockwaves through every corner of daily life. Food, fuel, and medicine became scarce. Families waited in endless lines, struggling each day just to survive. Supermarket shelves emptied, and the once bustling streets grew eerily quiet as hope faded. Anura, a skilled software engineer, and his wife Samantha had always dreamed of a better future for their children. For years they saw a U.S. green card as a lifeline, a safety net that could offer stability and opportunity. They followed every rule, submitted every document, and waited patiently, believing that persistence and honesty would eventually pay off. But as Sri Lanka's economy collapsed, U.S. officials became increasingly wary of economic migrants. The scrutiny grew, and the bar for approval was raised higher than ever before. What was once a straightforward application turned into a maze of new demands, unexpected interviews, and endless delays. Each letter from the embassy brought more anxiety and uncertainty. The process, which should have taken months, now stretched into years. The family found themselves trapped in limbo, unable to plan a future in Sri Lanka, yet unable to move forward in America. Their children grow older, watching the world change outside their window, as the window of opportunity slowly closes before them. The very crisis that makes the American dream so urgent is now the same crisis that blocks their path, turning hope into frustration. For many Sri Lankans, hope is held hostage by forces far beyond their control, by policies, paperwork, and the unpredictable tides of global events. The dream is slipping away, not for lack of effort or determination, but because of circumstances they cannot change, no matter how hard they try. The American promise, once so vivid and close, now feels more distant than ever, almost like a mirage on the horizon. Their story is echoed by thousands of other families, all waiting, all hoping, all caught between two worlds and uncertain futures. For Syrians, the American dream is inseparable from the dream of peace. Years of war have left cities in ruins and families desperate for safety. Fatima, a teacher from Aleppo, sees a green card as her only hope to escape violence and rebuild. In Iran, young people like Kian look to America for freedom and opportunity, not as a rejection of their culture but as a chance to realize their potential. Yet, applicants from Syria and Iran face extreme vetting, every detail of their lives scrutinized, applications stalled for years. Innocent people are caught in the crossfire of geopolitics, punished for the passport they hold. The process is invasive, opaque, and slow, creating nearly insurmountable barriers. Fatima and Kian's dreams are deferred, not by their actions, but by global politics. In the world of immigration, politics often outweighs personal merit. Pakistanis face strict U.S. vetting, with every application viewed through a lens of suspicion. Tariq, an IT professional with a job offer in America, finds his application endlessly delayed, his qualifications overshadowed by his nationality. The process feels less like evaluation, more like interrogation. In Nepal, the challenge is different. After the 2015 earthquake, many see the diversity visa lottery as their only hope. But desperation has led to fraud, prompting U.S. officials to scrutinize all Nepali applications, raising denial rates even for the honest. Genuine winners face heartbreak as their dreams are clouded by suspicion. The actions of a few have made the path harder for all. For both Pakistanis and Nepalis, the American dream is now threatened by forces beyond their control. Scrutiny and suspicion have replaced opportunity. The dream of a better life is now tangled in red tape and doubt. For many, hope is fading. South Korea, a U.S. ally, faces its own green card crisis, this time due to fraud in the EB-5 investor program. Unscrupulous agents lured families into fake investment schemes, promising green cards that never materialized. Many lost their savings and their chance at a new life. The U.S. cracked down, launching investigations and freezing legitimate applications. Honest investors like Mr. Park, who followed every rule, now find their futures in limbo. Their children's lives are on hold, their integrity questioned. The actions of a few have cast suspicion on all, forcing the U.S. to build higher walls of scrutiny. Even in prosperous nations, the innocent pay the price for others' misdeeds. The fallout is devastating for families who did everything right, trust is broken, and the path to America is blocked by suspicion. The UAE is a land of opportunity for millions of expatriates, but offers no path to citizenship or permanent residency. No matter how long you live or contribute, you remain a temporary guest, your stay tied to your job. Lose your job, and you have just weeks to leave. For many, a U.S. green card is the only path to true stability and belonging. Aisha, an Indian executive in Dubai, wants her son to have a real home and identity. But U.S. immigration policies aren't designed for this modern migration. Applicants from the UAE face confusion and delays. Are they judged by their country of origin or residence? High salaries make them seem privileged, but lack of permanent status makes them seem rootless. Aisha's application is stuck, her family's future uncertain. The system struggles to adapt, leaving lives in limbo. In response to global crises, the U.S. has tightened its immigration system. Walls, both literal and bureaucratic, are rising. The official goal: protect national security and American jobs. The result: more rigorous checks, longer waits, and higher burdens of proof. The system, already complex, is now a labyrinth of suspicion. Applicants from the 7 focus countries face the harshest scrutiny: extreme vetting, economic suspicion, and fraud checks. Country of origin now overshadows individual merit. The human cost is immense: families separated, careers stalled, dreams fading. For every success, thousands are trapped in limbo. The question: where is the line between caution and exclusion? The green card crisis is more than a backlog. It's a test of America's identity. Is the nation still a beacon of hope, or is it closing its doors to a world in need? The green card crisis reveals a deep tension in America between fear and hope, security and opportunity. America's strength has always come from welcoming immigrants who bring innovation and resilience. The stories from Sri Lanka, Syria, Iran, Pakistan, Nepal, South Korea, and the UAE are stories of ambition and belief in the American dream. Turning them away diminishes the nation, depriving it of future doctors, artists, and entrepreneurs. The decisions made now will echo for generations. The American dream was never just for the privileged, it was for the tired, the poor, the huddled masses. The current crisis is a moment of reflection. Will America be defined by fear or by its promise? Will it build walls or keep the beacon of hope lit? The dream deferred for millions is a test of the American dream itself. The world is watching to see which path America chooses.